Whistleblower Bradley Manning's defense will file a request to the U.S. president to have the former Army private pardoned. Manning has been sentenced to 35 years behind bars for disclosing the largest amount of classified data in American history. Meanwhile, Bradley Manning has revealed that he would now like to be known as Chelsea Manning and live the rest of his life as a woman. And Artist Gaynet Chikhan is joining us now live from Washington, D.C. Gaynet, interesting twist indeed. So what can you tell us about Manning's announcement and how will it possibly affect the situation around him?
Well, Yulia, Bradley Manning now wants to be referred to as Chelsea Manning. He requested hormone therapy, to which the Army said no. He's going to live in a male prison. There's obviously a lot of personal drama involved. Bradley Manning has struggled with his gender identity for a while now. In 2010, he wrote to his supervisor that he joined the Army to, quote unquote, to get rid of it. Of course, it's been a struggle for him. We heard his defense talk about this, but his attorney also said the stress that he was under was never an excuse because that's not what drove his actions. He said what drove his actions was a strong moral compass. He said that because for most media here, personal drama becomes the main story and it overshadows everything Bradley Manning has actually done. It's easier to talk about his sex than about foreign policy and the human cost of war. And that's what grabs the headlines, and we see everybody jumping on it, and someone is going to watch the story and say, okay, this is where it's coming from. And that kind of a narrative could be convenient for the government. I mean, the notion that Bradley Manning did what he did not out of conviction, but out of his personal drama. One way or another, the accents get shifted and the story becomes about the personality rather than the issues that he uncovered. And Bradley Manning's supporters, I mean, they support him not just as an individual, that too, of course, but mostly for the public's right to know, for the public's right to be informed on what their government is doing on their behalf. And they, of course, see Bradley Manning's sentence of 35 years in prison as unjust and unfair. After all, they say many who committed murder got away with less than 35 years. Bradley Manning has received a prison sentence that was 10 years longer than the period of time after which many of the documents that he released would have been automatically declassified. Now, Bradley Manning and his defense are submitting a request for a pardon. The President of the United States has the power to pardon him. But Bradley Manning also has supporters who were somewhat relieved by this sentence. I mean, at least he's not going to spend the rest of his life in prison, as prosecutors wanted. And the lawyer said he expects Bradley Manning to be released on parole in 7 years. Now, we don't know how his announcement about becoming Chelsea Manning will affect his parole hearing maybe in 7 years. But there is hardly any chance President Obama will pardon him, really, especially in the current environment of the government's crackdown on whistleblowers.
Yeah. All right. Artist Gaynet Chikhan in Washington. Gaynet, thank you very much.